They said Theron 9 could not be conquered, not because it had fleets, shields, or ancient superweapons, but because it refused to stay still. Even before the first human boot touched its surface, Galactic surveyors had stamped it with a red anomaly classification, quietly marking it as a navigational hazard, a biological paradox, a planet-sized organism that defied Euclidean geometry. To the soldiers of past empires who vanished beneath its canopy, it earned a simpler name whispered over broken distress calls: the Verdant Ma. From orbit, it looked almost peaceful, a seamless emerald sphere wrapped in mist. But every square kilometer belonged to the living weave. The planetary forest did not merely grow, it migrated. Trees slid across the soil on hyper-accelerated root clusters like deliberate chess pieces. Undergrowth shifted in patient tides, so a clearing at dawn became an impenetrable thicket by dusk, and marked trails folded inward and sealed like healing wounds. The native species, the Seelie, were slender, bark-skinned entities who existed in harmonic synchrony with the weave, perceiving its shifts as easily as humans perceive wind. They required no cities, barricades, or armies. The forest itself was their fortress, a sentient labyrinth whose defenses were disorientation, isolation, and eventual digestion. Previous invaders, the crystalline Cath Dominion and psionically gifted Elthine Choir, had failed spectacularly, their troops wandering endlessly until thirst, panic, or the constriction of migrating trunks ended them. Even advanced mapping systems became useless, terrain invalidating its own coordinates. When the United Terran Resource Directorate discovered that Nina's subsurface contained vast reservoirs of auric resin, a hyperdense biofuel capable of powering half a sector, Seelie High Conductor Lethra transmitted amusement through the root network. She had observed the galaxy long enough to know most species rely on maps, assuming grids reflect reality, but the weave existed specifically to betray that assumption. The first wave of human recon scouts confirmed her expectations. GPS arrays desynchronized within minutes. Satellites struggled to reconcile terrain data that shifted faster than orbital recalibration. Perimeter markers uprooted and drifted away. Soldiers reported the ground itself felt mobile. Paths sealed behind them. Corridors opened to dead ends in walls of interlocked trunks older than their homeworlds. Flares were swallowed by the canopy. Entire squads vanished into botanical silence. Requests to incinerate the forest came quickly, but Chief Engineer Helena Ward, call sign Gridlock, denied them without hesitation. Burning the weave would contaminate the auric resin, reducing a conquest to a Pyrrhic gesture. Ward was a structuralist from the megacities of old Earth, raised to negotiate gravity with steel and concrete. She did not see an unbeatable forest. She saw a system lacking fixed reference points. They think they can move the board, she muttered aboard the command platform, tracing the writhing terrain in a holographic projection. Fine. We'll give the board a spine. From orbit, what descended was not an armada of gunships, but a rain of matter, thousands of 30-ton ferrosteel pylons, each 60 meters long, deployed with precision thrusters and hammered deep into bedrock by automated impact drivers. Cross-bracing beams and articulated trusses lowered by heavy-lift drones, robotic welders igniting in synchronized arcs. A planetary lattice began to assemble, not around the forest, but through it. The Sylphy recoiled as the ground vibrated with foreign rigidity. Lethra issued psychic commands, the weave resisting. Roots thick as transport haulers erupted to pry steel columns apart. Trunks leaned to crush construction rigs. Undergrowth twisted violently in attempts to swallow machinery. Yet Ward anticipated every move, deploying steel sappers and powered exoskeletons equipped with hydraulic collar guns that clamped 6-meter alloy rings around mobile trunks, tension anchors securing the lattice to bedrock. Every attempted movement of the weave became self-inflicted strain. The forest groaned, a deep vibration rippling through root and atmosphere alike. But the metal lattice did not yield. For the first time in its evolutionary memory, the living weave discovered a counterforce immune to confusion, a geometry that did not adapt, but imposed order. No, Ward said evenly, standing atop a half-finished gantry. We're stabilizing it. Call it infrastructure. Chaos is not sacred. It's a challenge to systematize. Weeks passed. The lattice expanded until the continent was divided into precise 100-meter quadrants, each catalogued and immobilized. Trees fitted with restraint collars allowing minimal growth but zero migration. Steel mesh flooring created permanent walkways. Elevated corridors granted line of sight across the once incomprehensible maze. The Sylphy were confined within predictable boundaries. Extraction crews moved along straight ferrosteel avenues, drilling the stabilized earth to harvest auric resin with methodical efficiency. Humanity did not attempt to decode the forest's pathways. They made pathways irrelevant. Where nature thrived on flexibility and adaptation, humanity imposed stillness, drawing straight lines across a writhing world and declaring them permanent. By the campaign's end, the Verdant Ma was silent, its migratory instincts reduced to constrained creaks within alloy cages. Lethra, observing from her restricted quadrant, felt claustrophobia for the first time since she had learned to harmonize with the weave. The forest had not been destroyed, only reorganized, categorized, and immobilized. Its greatest strength, movement, was neutralized by an adversary that did not attempt to solve the maze, but overlaid a superior one. Chief Engineer Ward recorded her final log beneath the shadow of intersecting beams stretching to the horizon. Theron 9 had achieved structural compliance. Production targets were ahead of schedule, and maintenance would be minimal. She extinguished her torch and surveyed the geometric expanse, embodying a uniquely human doctrine. That chaos is temporary, and given enough steel, bolts, and willpower, even a sentient forest can be taught to stand still. In the ledger of galactic conquests, Theron 9 would not be remembered for battle or siege, but for something quieter and more terrifying. A living labyrinth confronted by a species that never intended to follow the path in the first place, bringing its own map carved in iron. And in that stillness, the weave learned that some predators do not hunt by chasing, they hunt by building cages. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.